Our next distinguished personality to honor us with her presence is Captain Martina George, an Army veteran. I would take the privilege to present her biodata through a short video clip. Can we have the video clip, please?
Captain Martina George, an ex-Army officer, passionate entrepreneur, and a homemaker at heart, is presently the managing partner of Security India Consulting Services, a premium risk management consulting organization where she has led successful assignments on supply chain and loss prevention, fire safety consulting and audit and women safety training for clients such as Gati KWE, DB Shankar Escorts Limited, and Wipro. She is also credited with high-trained over 6,000 plus women from widely dispersed geographical backgrounds across the country. She served in the Indian Army as an officer in the Army Service Corps before launching her career in the civil streets with Goldman Sachs, where she formed and headed the document management group for India. She is also a BSI certified lead auditor for OH and S management systems. Captain Martina is also credited as being one of the few certified microlight flying women instructors of Indian Army. Her passion includes marathon running, adventure, cooking, and poetry writing. She won a national award at a poetry competition in her 10th standard.
Captain Martina George will speak on Indian Armed Forces and Oasis of Opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Captain Martina George, ma'am, with a big round of applause.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Feels good to go back in days and see myself in the uniform again. A wonderful morning to one and all. And my first question to the gathering, and especially to the NCC cadets who are here, because NCC has been very close to my heart. And I would tell you all why NCC is close to my heart as I go ahead in the presentation. The first question is, whoever is sitting in this crowd, the NCC cadets, can anybody tell me, why have you opted for NCC? What is your plan ahead? Anybody? Let me be very frank, I would enjoy the snacks in NCC. But I did enjoy, but I did have a vision too, which later became my mission in life. And so anybody, the lady cadets, can anybody just answer me, why have you opted for NCC? Ma'am, the one with the sash? Yeah. Please tell me, why did you join NCC? Sorry, ma'am? Okay. So when did you get this thought in your head that you have to join army, so you have to do NCC? Who guided you? You're ready, sir. Who is ready, sir, here? Okay. All right. That's really nice. Others? So out of all of you sitting here, the NCC cadets, how many of you want to join the Army, Air Force, Navy? That's a very good number. Sir, you want to see how many hands? Yeah. So that's because Colonel Sharon has got such a big mission in his mind, the vision, and you all are the ones who will have to draw this and make this a mission going forward. Because before I go ahead and tell you what are the opportunities that you have in the Army, I want you to just take you through what made me join into Army and how I did, because that is very important, is what I realized in later part of my life. So, I joined the Army to through NCCC certificate. That was my first achievement. So, I studied in a convent called St. Anne's High School. Anybody who knows Bolaram, I don't know. Quite a few must be knowing because I'm from Hyderabad. Didn't have scouts and guides. But what happened is every year, the chief guest for our school was the GOC of that area. So the kind of pomp and glory and his uniform shining, you know, the metal shining on his uniform was really so, it was so beautiful to watch him and the kind of respect he would get, and he would sit on the, you know, on the dais. It was so beautiful. That really caught my heart. I just asked my sports teacher, how do I get there? She might have thought she's too young. I must have been in some second standard that time. So I said, how do I get there? How do I get that uniform? She must have just casually told me, she said, you should be very good in sports. And believe me, from that day on, I didn't stop running. I still do my marathons. So for me, sports was anything and everything after that. Name it, and I was in all the sports. I have so many cups and medals, and my parents were really annoyed that I spend more time, you know, into my sports than into academics. But that also went fair, wasn't too bad, I would say. But my focus was, I have to get that uniform. And trust me, that was just a short goal. I didn't know after that, how do you get that uniform? One thing hit my head, that you have to be good at sports, and that will take me there. So I just kept going. Passed my 10th standard. My plus 2 didn't have NCC in the college. So I was not guided as to how do we go about. Then I went to my degree, and that is where the NCC started. So I opted for NCC B certificate. I started my NCC, passed my B certificate. I just went with the flow. And then later, passed my C certificate. Then I started gaining knowledge about, you know, how do you go about, when do the notifications come, how do we start it. Then I went to a few offices whom I knew were in and around my area, asked them, how do you go about, what is the kind of exams. Didn't go to any training, but with whatever information that I got from them, first basic thing was your physical fitness. Second thing was being very disciplined about whatever you do. I just kept going. My first notification that was out in December, I filled it, and in the first attempt, I made it. So, and behind all this, my parents didn't know that I had even filled a notification form. When the call letter came to me from SSB 24, that is in Bangalore, I told my dad that maybe you have to accompany me, otherwise you can stay, I'll go. He said, where are you going? I said, I'm going for my selection board. He said, are you serious? Because nobody, I'm the first generation officer. So he said, okay, why to kind of demoralize her? He was okay with it, and he said, go. He came along, stayed with me for 5 days, because every day you have, you know, clearance and all. So I kept passing everything, didn't know what is next, nobody to guide me. But then with whatever little information I had, I knew I have to pass the medical. Then after reaching the medicals, then my father thought I'm selected. He told everyone that you're selected, that she's into the army. And after that, I was so scared, because I don't know if I'll get through the merit list. But by God's grace, I did. So then I was inducted into Army Service Corps in 2007. So why I just took through these few minutes to talk to you all about it is to all the young aspirants here, especially who are into NCC and all the youngsters who are yet to pass out of college. You need to, like the Deputy Commissioner said, rightly said, you need to first ask yourself what you want in life, what you want to do. And then slowly start making small goals and move towards that. That is the key to success. It's not like one fine day you just wake up and say, okay, maybe I'll try and become this, and then everything should be a vision and then followed by a mission. Okay? So all the things, and army is like, you don't know, you don't think that you just go into one corps and, you know, you're just sitting there doing nothing. It's, you name it and you have an opportunity there. I wanted to fly, and I didn't know if I would ever get an opportunity to fly. But Army gave me that opportunity. I joined the Army Aeronautical Center through the Adventure Wing, and I was the second lady officer who passed the solos, made it to the solos at the first go again at a very less time. In 19 hours, I cracked the solos. And then I was posted to ASC Center North Gaya as an instructor. So there was nothing that could stop me. So army is a place, or for that matter, any armed forces is a place where you can find many other things that you want to do in life. It's like you're not put in there saying you would only be doing this job. You just need to have an aspiration for it and you can earn it. So I was into shooting, then I enjoyed cleaning my own aircraft, then making lovely friends, the training that you go through in OTA, the endurance that you build in the academy will make you a hero for life. After that, it's no looking back. There is nothing in this world that can tell you that you can't do it. Your quality of life and the quantity of your work it just takes you to a different level. The respect that you earn is totally different. So now I would also take you all through how do you get into what are the different opportunities into the armed forces. So first thing is, how do you, Army men's entry. There's a lot into it because I'm sure most of you sitting here, even I was not aware of a few things which I could do over the period because I was given this topic to talk. So there are many, many options. Don't think like, oh, I've just passed 12th, so I've missed the opportunity. No. Even after that, you have many other opportunities to get into the army. First thing is NDA. I'm sure many would be aware. +2, that is what you need. And the notifications usually are in the month of December and May. For that matter, you should thank the technology nowadays because you have all this information available on the internet. You just have to be looking into it. You have to keep following up the news. You have to keep following up the notification, and you yourself will be aware. And like you also have your instructors in the college who will keep you aware of these things. So you get these. Then again, you have something called the technical entry scheme for which you need to have physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So you enter in with a technical entry that is called 10+2. And those notifications come in the month of May and September. Where is NDA? Okay, great. And then you have the ACC entry again, for which you need +2 or anything equivalent. And these notifications come in the month of September and March. Okay? And then again, if you have missed this entry, not to worry. People who are graduating here or yet to graduate, you also have these schemes. Okay? This is again IMA, 19 to 24 years. I'm not going into details because it's a lot of information, and this information will be there with Colonel Sharan. He will be helping you with the information. I have even more detailed information as a presentation given to him. So if you have any questions, you can also reach out to me after this. So an NCC special entry, like I said, you have minimum B grade certificate, and the best is if you have the C grade certificate. Okay? And those advertisements come in the month of June and December. And then you have the UEC, final and pre-final year students, engineering degree course. You have to finish your engineering for that. And then TGC, you have to be an engineer for that. It is a technical entry completely. And those notifications come in the month of December and Jan. And so on and so forth. And then you also have the territorial army. And I wouldn't have mentioned here, but nowadays territorial army is open even for women. Any aspirants who are here who couldn't make it, ma'am, anybody who wanted to be in the army, TA is open for women now. So if you want to, you should please try and get the details and attempt. And Army Women's Entry, I'm sure right now everybody is aware that we have got the permanent commission for all the entries. Like you have, initially it was only for the education and the law branch, which they had granted the permanent commission, but now it is granted to all the corps. So technical graduate course again you have to be an engineer for that, and the advertisements come in December, Jan, and again the second notification comes in June and July. This is exclusively for women, the SEC, short commission course. This is after graduation or PG. Usually PG is for women who are into the education, who have done their MA, MS. So after you finish that, you can enter the academy. You can write your exams, and it is a direct entry. Then you also have the engineering entry for women also. This is also direct. And NCC special entry, like I have mentioned, it is also applicable for women. So when you enter through these schemes like NCC and technical and all, and over there your educational qualification, the percentage of that sort of is compromised. In the sense you don't have to be highly, you don't have to be 80% or 90% for that, because you have devoted your time into this NCC and all that. A marginal of 50 to 53% is, 50+% is what they look for in your academics. So it's not that you totally neglect your academics and do only in NCC. There is a threshold for that also. And then in the same way, we have Navy men's entry. Sir, please do correct me if there's anything wrong, but okay. So cadet entry NDA again, 10+2, but one basic thing to remember is for Navy and Air Force, all the entries, you need to have minimum mathematics and physics in your +2. That is one of the basic thing. In Army, we do have a relaxation in that a bit, but for Air Force and Navy, the basic thing is you have to have mathematics and physics in your +2. That is very, very important, okay? So, and then again, you have the cadet entry Naval Academy, 10+2 again with physics and math. Then purely engineering and electrical branch, there are different branches in the Navy. So that is again a direct entry. As I said again, 10+2, you should have your mathematics and physics with PCM, 70% marks. This is very important to know. The same way you have BS graduation special entry, NCC special entry again applies here, and direct entry naval, armament, law cadre. So all what is applicable for Army, it is again applicable for Air Force and Navy, but different eligibility criteria. So all this information is available on the internet with a lot of updated information. It's not like age-old information. There are people who are updating information. There are a few organizations which are running who keep talking to you only about these, and they'll keep telling you about when the notifications are coming, okay? Then Navy's men's entry, there are a lot of entries in this. Like you have the general service, hydro cadre, aviation cadre, and observer cadre. So they have all sub divisions also. Like in the Army, we have a total direct divisions, but then in Air Force and Navy, they do have sub cadres also, and they're very specific about their qualifications because they need technical entries mostly. Then again, you have women and men entry graduation, just like how we had it in the Army. Law cadre, again, with 55 marks aggregate. And logistic cadre, this is very beautiful. I must tell you, I first applied for this. I did get through, because as I told you, there was nobody for me to guide. So whatever notifications came, I just filled everything and sent. So, but then for some reasons, there was a clash or something, so I didn't make it for this interview, but I went for the Army interview. So aviation graduation, 60 marks with maths and physics, +2, okay? I think this is self-explanatory. Air Force again, NDA and CDSE. Graduation in any discipline, but with minimum physics and mathematics. I'm just emphasizing on this so that people who have not yet joined their +2 or about to or something, please ensure that you have science in your background if you are very keen on joining the Air Force and the Navy. And for that matter, I think science nowadays helps you in all your competitive exams also, so you should make it part of your curriculum. So, flying branch, graduation in any discipline, okay? But again, with physics and maths. And technical branches, 4-year graduation course. So, specific schemes they have. For that, you have to ensure that you have engineering for that. And ground duty branches, these are the non-technical. There are few technical and non-technical also. And then SCC for women only, for commercial pilot license holders. So there are women aspirants also who are commercial pilots, right? So they have entry for them also. Medical, very important. Sir was telling me there are a lot of doctors and nurses from this place. So you people should ensure that, you try and get into it, because when you get into army through, into AFMC, or you get into MNS, you are just not living that medical life as not only fulfilling what your parents wanted, but you're also fulfilling your other dreams. Because apart from that, there are lot more other options. The AFMC officers whom we serve with in the army, they do everything with us, apart from their core job. So you're not just living your medical dream of your parents, you also will be living your dream, what you wanted to do. So it doesn't stop you anywhere, okay? So I don't know if I have rushed through the entries, because if I keep going into it, it takes a lot of time, sir. But I do have a detailed version of these entries, and I would anytime leave my contacts with sir. If anything, you all can reach out to me, and I can give you a detailed description of all the entries. And but what I would like to tell you is, do not stop yourself from being part of this esteemed organization, which makes you a disciplined person. Not only disciplined person, it makes you a person with a sort of accomplishment in your life, after which you only earn respect everywhere that you go. It's a respectful life. And once you do that, believe me, now I'm outside the army. For some reasons, I had to get myself released, but due to some personal reasons. But once you're out of the army, the kind of respect that you still continue to get from the population outside, and the respect that your family sees you with, and the kind of satisfaction that you get is incomparable. You cannot compare that to anything else. The moment you wear that uniform, you see your chest goes broader, and you just don't want to look back. The feeling which I'm saying, you can really get it only once you earn it. And believe me, once you get into this organization, there's nothing that can stop you from achieving anything in life. The endurance that they build you with, the kind of, the discipline. I feel in this country, everybody should be made compulsory army training, because the discipline, I think that is how a nation will become a better nation tomorrow. And I'm strongly for it, because I think the kind of discipline that we learn here, you stand out in the crowd. People will start looking at you like, okay, this person may be from defense background, because you come out to be like that. It becomes part and part of your DNA or your blood. So, and now once I left the army, there was one thing, there's always plan B. I thought, what if I don't get in the army? So, and my dad was pushing me. He said, look, you finished your graduation, and I thought you're going to one of the best business schools. So he always wanted me to get into IIM or something like that. So I started preparing for my CAT also. So मैंने अपना CAT classes शुरू किया. उसके लिए time coaching center भी start कर लिया. उसके exams भी लिख दिए. पहला exam was atrocious. बहुत ही गंदा percentile आया. My dad looked at me and he said, are you sure about what you want to be in life? Felt very embarrassed in front of my siblings. I said, Dad, I know what I want to do. Till then, I didn't tell them that मैं अभी भी army join करना चाहती हूँ, because there was a small incident. My younger brother, he almost got selected in the Air Force, but due to medical issues, he was not able to make it. So that atmosphere in the house was like so bad, जैसे मातम हो जाता ना कि son couldn't get into the Air Force. So, and after that, if I break this news saying that मुझे अभी call letter आया है और मुझे selection के लिए जाना है, तो they were like, अरे, there was something behind it, your brother couldn't make it, but it's okay, that statement. But it's okay, if you want to give it a try, go ahead. So it happens, na, conservative families in our country. Arey, the guy couldn't do it, what will you do? But my dad was supportive too. So he took me, he said, it's okay, give it an attempt, we'll see. So I made it. But after that, you know what army has given me? My brother couldn't fly. And my parents were really feeling bad. जब भी movie में कोई helicopter जा रहा है, कुछ जा रहा है, is like, अरे हमारा बच्चा अगर Air Force में जाता तो अब तक he would have been flying a chopper or maybe a fighter. I flew microlight. I fulfilled even that wish of theirs. Their daughter, okay? And after that, when I got released from the army still took care of me. They have something called release programs, this is called a resettlement programs. And can you believe it? I could make it into IIM Ahmedabad for a course of 6 months. It was a residential course. So I sort of accomplished everything in my life. And too early to say that, but I say this to everyone. At this young age, because I joined army, I feel so accomplished. In the sense, I have fulfilled everything that I wanted to. So I got released. I joined IIM Ahmedabad, did my resettlement course, did very well there. It was a 6 months residential course. So through the placements, they took me directly into Goldman Sachs, one of the best organizations, financial organizations in Bangalore. I worked there for 2.5 years. And everybody, trust me, enjoy working with army officers. They feel, oh, there's nothing that these people can't do. So uske baad, then वो एक होता है कि आर्मी होने के बाद, आर्मी ज्वाइन करने के बाद, कोई भी चीज़ में दिल नहीं लगता उसके बाद कि यार, what am I doing here? You start missing your uniform. You're not getting that satisfaction in anything else. So corporate world was something which didn't make me happy anymore. It was good. It was paying me heavy. It was giving me a very good package. When I joined itself, I think they took me at a package of 20 lakhs per annum, which was like, what do I do with so much money? So and after that, there was no stopping. Even today, if I just put up my resume, it will be like, they can pay me any amount. But because of again, that is the platform that Army gave me. But then, I said no. My husband and me, Major Saurabh, he's also ex-Army officer. He's from the EME. We both started our own venture. We started a consulting firm. It is called Covert Security India Consulting Services. We do not provide the security guards because everybody has this kind of a thing in mind that you provide security guards. We don't provide the equipment, we don't provide the guards, but apart from that, all the security related audits is what we do. When we started, we had no idea how we would go about and what we would do. But then still we had the motivation and the same thing what we learned in the army, work hard, have a mission, vision, there's nothing impossible that you can do. And we did that, and after that, I realized there was no stopping, and right now we have clients like Wipro, we have bigger clients like Apple, DB Shankar, we have Amazon, and they're all with us on a perpetual contract. So Army can give you a lot of things. Armed forces, rather, I've put it together. So please try and aim to get yourself into it. It makes your life very beautiful and accomplished. Okay? And then today, as I said, I'm into, I also do a lot of women empowerment programs where I do a lot of self-defense techniques. I teach them a lot of self-defense techniques and also do the psychological part of it. So I have trained almost 4,000 plus women as on date. So from all streams. I also do residentials, I also do corporates. So there's no stopping you because you become, a master. Maybe you're not a master of everything, but jack of all trades. You know everything. There's nothing that you have not done in the army. So you know everything. Any stream you're like, okay, fine, what is there? We'll just crack it, we'll learn it and we do it. So that's how I started and we're doing well by God's grace. And right now, we are also going to launch our first app because thanks to COVID, so a lot of things, the gambit of the entire business has changed, but it has helped us to launch our app, which we'll be launching very soon, and hoping it will do well. So, sir, I thank Colonel Sharan for the lovely opportunity that he has given. I'm hoping that I could fulfill his desire of putting some aspiration into your minds. And please do well and make Bidar proud. Make Sir's vision a beautiful mission for all of us. And I'm hoping in a couple of years, you all will certainly make a lot of officers from here. All the best to all of you. All the best to you, sir. Thank you so much.